Julian of Christian Muslim Forum, who are very active in bringing Muslims and Christians together in the UK.
Ladies and lords, honourable members, sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum and greetings of peace. First of all, I'd like to thank my friend and colleague, Sister Rubab, Mehdi, Rizvi, for asking me to speak at this important event. I quote from her invitation: "Gender-based nepotism in history means that achievements from females are conveniently forgotten. It is imperative in our struggle for gender parity that such personalities are given their rightful place theologically and socially, as they are an authentic source of law and ethics." In preparing, I noticed our male speaker lineup, though I gather that it's our sisters who are the stars of this event. I also wondered, would there be benefit in me writing a speech and asking a female colleague to deliver it? But no. There are important things that we need to hear men saying about key female figures in our religious traditions, a gap that hasn't been given the right kind of attention. Reflecting on Fatima and Mary, they both had important messages. They challenged men's words, actions and outlooks, and had close relationships with our founders, the Prophet Muhammad and Jesus Christ, peace be upon them both. And yet we neglect them. They are a mainstay of women's events and our more devotional communities, but are often sidelined. In my research on Lady Fatima, I was struck by the limited number of accounts about her and the uncertainty about actual events, including her untimely death. On the evidence of her speech or even sermon addressed to the leaders of the early Muslim community, she clearly had much to say, spoke strongly on the core message of Islam, and was deeply influenced by her father, the Prophet, and well versed, literally, in the words of the Quran. As a student of scriptures and traditions, I wish I knew more. But there are difficulties. Mainstream traditions give us the majority view. Key figures loom large, and others are less visible. This suggested the theme of unheard voices for this short talk. Giving these important women their proper recognition directs us to what was in their hearts and souls, engages us with their passion, and asks us to listen to what, in the Christian tradition, I can only describe as prophetic voices. They are much more than role models for women in our traditions, and men should be wary of presenting them in this way. When we point others towards something, we run the risk of missing the point ourselves. Mary gives this speech in one of the Gospels. "From now on, all generations will call me blessed, for the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercy extends to those who fear him, from generation to generation. He has performed mighty deeds with his arm. He has scattered those who are proud in their inmost thoughts. He has brought down rulers from their thrones, but has lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, but has sent the rich away empty." In many ways, this is the high point of the prophetic voice in the Bible, evoking the style of Isaiah, Amos, and other prophets in the Hebrew Scriptures. Mary speaks to an unequal and oppressive society with God's perspective and God's intentions. Is this the voice of men? Well, sometimes it is, though often men are privileged, create and maintain unequal structures, oppress and marginalise. In my experience, speaking generally, we often fill our platforms with men, and I've been challenged on this in my own work at the Christian Muslim Forum when we have leaders and scholars events. But I've been encouraged over the last year or so that we've appointed Muslim and Christian women to senior positions within our organisation, and that we're about to launch a women's leadership programme initiated and led by women. My good friend and colleague Anjum Anwar has recently set up an organisation in Blackburn for Muslim and Christian women called Women's Voice. It brings a different perspective and that prophetic quality into public conversations. If we listen to women, Lady Fatima and Mary, and those who are with us today, we hear a different voice, a voice of challenge and change, and gold is on the side of change too, our traditions tell us. I don't want to dwell on gender politics and male structures, but it seems to me that at the moment this is a vital role for women. Contemporary secular wisdom suggests that a man cannot be a man unless he engages fully with woman's challenge, and that a woman will not properly be a woman if she is not listened to and engaged with. I don't want to take attention away from these key women, but for a moment, when we listen to them, we hear our founders' voices too. The first shall be last, meeting God in the homeless or prisoners, caring for the weak, the encouragement to be humble. It is no surprise that these women are mother and daughter, God's chosen ones. They're sisters to each other and mothers to us. They're for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Julian, for those touching words.